Hello and welcome to Annie's Short Stories. I hope you enjoy this story. I'm going to try and upload a new story each day. The Newport Necromancer. The Isle of Wight was known for its coastal beauty, quaint towns, and the ancient whispers of folklore. But none of its legends prepared Holly Arnold for what awaited her in Newport. Holly, a freelance journalist, had returned to the island after years away. She was investigating a series of strange occurrences, graves disturbed, whispers of ghostly sightings, and an enigmatic man calling himself the Newport Necromancer. What began as a story of curiosity quickly spiraled into something far darker. Arrival in Newport. Holly parked her car near St. Thomas Square, where a small crowd had gathered. At the center stood the man everyone had been talking about. He was tall and striking, with jet black hair and a voice that resonated like the low toll of a bell. His name was Elias Crow, and he claimed to have the power to communicate with and control the dead. The spirits are restless, he proclaimed. They cry out for justice, for vengeance. Skeptical murmurs rippled through the crowd, but some listened with wide-eyed belief. Holly felt a chill that had nothing to do with the October breeze. She pushed her way to the front, camera in hand. Mr. Crow. Elias's dark eyes locked onto hers, and a slow smile spread across his face. Not belief, Miss Arnold. A dark demonstration. Elias led the crowd to a nearby cemetery, where he stood before an ancient, crumbling mausoleum. Holly's instinct screamed at her to leave, but her curiosity and determination to uncover the truth kept her rooted. "Arise," Elias intoned. The ground trembled, and an icy wind swept through the air. Moments later, skeletal hands burst through the soil. Gasps and screams erupted from the crowd as the dead began to emerge, their hollow eyes glowing faintly. Holly's heart pounded as she snapped photos, her logical mind struggling to rationalize what she was seeing. Elias turned to her, his smile chilling. "The dead obey me. And soon." The investigation. Determined to expose Elias as a fraud or stop him if he truly possessed such terrifying power, Holly dove into her research. She uncovered records of Elias's past, a disgraced historian who had been obsessed with necromancy. He had spent years studying forbidden texts and artifacts, eventually vanishing from public view. Holly also learned of a relic called the Obsidian Seal, said to grant its wielder dominion over the dead. Local legends claimed the seal was buried somewhere on the island. Elias must have found it, she reasoned. Confrontation. As Halloween approached, Holly's investigation led her to Carisbrooke Castle. The fortress's ancient catacombs were said to be where Elias conducted his rituals. Armed with a flashlight, a recorder, and a growing sense of dread, Holly ventured into the tunnels. The air was thick with the stench of decay, and an oppressive silence pressed down on her. She followed faint chanting until she reached a cavernous chamber lit by flickering torches. Elias stood at the center, the obsidian seal clutched in his hands, surrounded by a growing army of the dead. "You shouldn't have come," Holly, Elias said. "But perhaps it's fitting." Holly felt fear claw at her, but she forced herself to stand tall. "This ends now," she said. "You're not a god, Elias." Elias laughed, a sound that sent shivers down her spine. "Oh, but I do understand. The dead are my servants, my soldiers, and with their help." The battle. Holly had prepared for this moment. She pulled a vial of salt and a small mirror from her bag of tools she'd read could disrupt necromantic energy. As Elias raised the seal to command his undead army, Holly hurled the salt at him. The vial shattered, and a blinding light erupted, causing the reanimated corpses to wail and crumble to dust. Elias staggered, his grip on the seal faltering. Holly seized the opportunity, lunging forward and grabbing the relic. The moment her hands touched it, a surge of power coursed through her. She felt the spirit's anguish, their longing for release. "Be free," she whispered. A wave of energy rippled through the chamber, and the remaining undead collapsed. Elias screamed as the power he had stolen turned against him, consuming him in a vortex of shadow. Aftermath. When Holly emerged from the catacombs, dawn was breaking over the Isle of Wight. The air felt lighter, as if a great weight had been lifted. Authorities dismissed the event as a hoax, and the residents of Newport returned to their lives, the memory of the necromancer fading into another island legend. But Holly knew the truth. She had faced the darkness and won, though the experience left her scarred. As she drove away from Newport, she couldn't shake the feeling that Elias's final words were more than a threat. This is not the end. Please don't forget to like, and even better, like and subscribe. Thank you very much, and I hope you have had or have a great day.